Hey everybody, so welcome to my shop. I got a call the other day from somebody that wanted a charcuterie board. Now I've never actually made a charcuterie board. I've made cutting boards and stuff like that, so this was going to be something different. So Eric and I kind of started looking around and looking for a piece of wood that we had that we could make it, and we found this board. And this, we've already cut it, but this is the board. We don't even know for sure what kind of material this is. But this is that board, the cutoff of that board that we had. And it had a bunch of like icky stuff in it. But it's really a nice board. It's heavy. It's some kind of hardwood. So I took it out, and this is the end that we cut off. And I sanded it down, cleaned off the bark. I didn't want that bark on there. I'm going to lift this so you can...
Okay.
So I kind of cleaned that off, and it looks really good. It's got a lot of character. And then here's this part.
Got some spalting going on.
Got some spalting going on. It's really, really cool. So I'm going to... this is my plan. I have something that I want to have Eric carve on it, which we'll figure out where that's going to go later. All of this here, these concaves, or concaves, whatever you want to call it, these holes, canyons, these are all going to be filled in with a colored resin. I haven't decided quite yet what color. And then we'll fill all these, I think, with probably... I'm not sure if I want to fill these with epoxy or just go ahead and fill them up with Starbond. That I'm not sure yet. So, but anyway, right now what I'm going to do is I don't know what kind of wood this is, and I'm going to put resin on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some penetrating... Eric just put his hand on my table, which is not a safe idea because of all my resin everywhere. So I'm going to put some penetrating epoxy on it and just cover the whole thing in penetrating epoxy. I'll probably put 2 coats on it. And this is a 2-to-1 epoxy. And it seals it up so it's less airy, less bubbles when you go to actually put the resin on it. And it is stinky. So I'm thinking I'll probably make 4 ounces just simply because it is pretty big, because I have to do the front and the back. So we're going to do 2 ounces of the hardener and then 1 ounce of the actual epoxy or resin epoxy. I guess it's actually epoxy when you mix it together, right?
You said 4 ounces, but you meant 3.
No.
2 and 1 would be 3, correct?
See, I always mix that up. Yes, so I'm going to do 2 ounces of the hardener, so I want to do...
1 ounce of that.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, the other way around. Oh, yeah, because... So you have to have 4 ounces of that. If you use 2 ounces of that, you have to have 4 ounces
so
of
technically it's going to be 6 ounces. But
6 ounces.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the confusing part for me. That's like why I like the 1-to-1 so much better. So we're doing 4 ounces of the actual resin.
The resin that I started off with, the total boat resin that I started off with was a 2-to-1, but they had the pumps. You know, they had the pumps. And it really made it simple.
Yeah.
Because it was, the same amount of pumps, but it was twice as much volume.
And now they have, if you buy like big quantities, if you're doing huge projects and you buy massive quantities, they have the big bottles of resin. They have the measuring system that you put the bottles up on, and you just do a pump and it measures. It's really cool.
I haven't seen that.
So this I'm going to do for 2 minutes. And
mix it for 2 minutes?
Mix it for 2 minutes. Yeah. And then, excuse me, and then I'm just going to brush it on and seal this up. This does go all the way through. So when I'm actually ready to do the colored resin, I'm going to have to tape this thing up really good, because you can see it goes all the way through. This is going to have to be taped up, all the whole bottom, and the sides here. Everything's going to have to be really taped up. And I use this sheathing tape. It's duct tape actually, but it's more of a sheathing tape, and it's plastic or something, so it works really well. So I'm going to mix this up for a couple minutes, and then we'll be back and I'll start putting it on there.
You're on.
Oh. All right, so this is the back side of my board.
Really, it looks to me, it didn't look like it before we sanded it off, but it looks to me like it's walnut, like it's a spalted walnut. That's really what it looks like to me.
I don't know, but it is pretty.
Oh my Lord, look how gorgeous that is. Yay.
So I want to make sure to get everything covered and sealed up. And of course, that's a Vickyism. I'm making a mess. You can see where it's really soaking in here. That's what the resin would do if we didn't have the penetrating epoxy on it.
So why the penetrating epoxy?
Well, the penetrating epoxy goes in and it seals up some of those bubbles, those airy spots that would be bubbles, or like, let me see if you can zoom in. See right here where I just put that, brushed that on, but it looks dry because that's soaking into the wood, and that's exactly what the actual resin would do if the penetrating epoxy wasn't there to seal it up. Why am I making such a mess? So if we can seal it with this, then the finish epoxy won't soak in like that.
But why use this rather than just an extra coat of the other stuff?
Because it's cheaper and
it's cheaper?
It's easier, it dries much faster. So I believe, I want to say you can actually reapply your second coat. Gosh, it's like within hours instead of days, or, you know. I can't remember exactly. I wish you'd have asked me that before I'd have read the back again. It's been so long since I read it. But see how it's really soaking in there. So we got that part. So let's see. I want to flip this over, but this is going to be really pretty. I like the grain on that, how it's popping out of there. Man, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put a second coat on this, the way this is soaking up like that.
You think 6 ounces was the right amount?
Yeah, I think so, because I still got to do the back, and I can just put more on
This
there.
is the back, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, the front, and then more on the side. So yeah, I can just keep putting it on. It's not like it, you know, as it soaks in, I could just add more to it. So, and I really want to get it in there. And this paintbrush, I think I bought a bunch of paintbrushes on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 10 sets of 4 or 5 or whatever, and they're cheap brushes, but they're perfect for this kind of thing.
Just a one-time use then?
Yeah, just one-time use. I don't, you know, I probably clean them up and reuse them, but they're cheap and I've got a bunch of them, so I'm not going to do it.
And do you find the bristles come off?
No,
because some of those really super cheap ones that you get at Lowe's or Home Depot,
yeah,
the bristles come off.
Well, after, I think probably after, if you were to use it too much or for other things, it might. But I have, if I do, it's like 1 or 2. It's not like a lot of them. So, yeah, look at that, really soak in. Really want to get this end, because that's where we cut it and it would really soak in. Okay, But that's going to be pretty. Yeah, gorgeous.
Did you put some in this corner?
Not yet. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say that's a really light color.
No, I haven't got that. I just wanted to make sure everything's
very pretty.
So yeah, my sleeve's coming down. You really want to make sure this gets sealed up. This I'm thinking, because it's going to be like a hunting, fishing theme, so maybe like a moss green. See?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to finish this. Keep putting this on here, and then we will keep you all posted as we make more progress and on to the next step. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we had a little change of plans. I put the first coat of the penetrating epoxy on there, but because we're going to do some carving on it, I didn't want to put the second coat because I want to make sure that the penetrating epoxy gets down into the carving, because that tends to be, once you get that open untouched wood or whatever, then we get a lot of bubbles. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna pour, this is it's called lime green, and I wanted it nice and bright. Eric liked this color too because I want it to show up on this dark wood. So I'm not sure if you can even see underneath here, or if I should turn the board around.
No, you're good.
You're good? All right, so I'm going to fill up all these deep, again, everything is taped up with this sheathing tape all the way underneath. I'm going to pour in here, and I'm going to pour all this deep stuff. So keep your fingers crossed. I love this green once we looked at it, huh?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's going to show up really well on this board. And it's going to work its way down, so I'm going to try and...
So what'd you mix? Like eight ounces?
There's 7 ounces in here. 3.5 of the hardener, 3.5 of the resin, and wow, it's almost like not. Oh, it is going down there. I can see it now.
So this is what you're using now is the tabletop, or is it it's the tabletop stuff. Okay. Yeah. Total Boat tabletop.
Yeah. So this is going to be a charcuterie board, and today we went to Home Depot and we bought some handles that we're just going to put handles on it here for picking it up and moving it around. It's not going down that much. I think it will I guess it's just slow because of the penetrating epoxy, but that's all right. I've got other things I can do with this leftover resin. Coasters. Can never have too many coasters. But it's going to take a little bit for it to go down in there. So anyway, again, this is going to be a charcuterie board, and
which is what? Is it like a serving
charcuterie
board?
board is like a serving board where they do a lot big like spreads of cheese and ham and fruit, meat and cheese, all kinds of meat, cheeses, fruits. And it's just basically it's a serving board.
But you wouldn't want to cut on it.
No, well,
because it's going to
again, you're going to have the resin on it, so you're not going to want to do any cutting on it. It's just not a good idea. So I'm going to scooch that in there, and this is going to take a little bit of patience, which I think most people know is not one of my virtues. But
so it'll take a while for that all.
Yeah, because it's got to work its way down in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you this part real quick. When we come back, we'll probably start the carving, and I'll show you the artwork that I've got that I want to put on it. Eric's going to carve it, and we will take the next step. So thanks, guys. Bye-bye.